cameras. Those 480 flock cameras went up, as he noted, in record time. 290 of them are within the city jurisdiction in Oakland, about 190 of them on state right-of-ways adjacent to the city of Oakland. You've already seen the benefits of those cameras. And you've also seen the protocols that are in place as it relates to concerns around privacy and how those cameras are utilized as it relates to aiding and supporting law enforcement. But we also saw what the voters expressed in pretty clear terms. They want change. They're demanding change. There's no longer an Alameda County district attorney. There's no longer a mayor. There's an interim mayor here in Oakland. The voters have spoken. And we need to see the change that the people of Oakland, and for that matter, folks here in Alameda County, deserve. And we are prepared to continue to support those efforts, but we need to see commensurate reforms locally. I want to thank President Adams, who's here, the NAACP, for their extraordinary clarity and support of these efforts, for calling us all out, for calling us to a higher level of commitment to the bishop, for doing the same, demanding more of the state, demanding more of all of us in advancing this partnership. I also want to call out two council members that are here, Houston and Jenkins. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for having our backs. Thank you for having backed this partnership for some time. And thank you for your commitment and resolve to see what you too can do to help advance this broader effort and need and desire to see the kind of change that all of us are expecting here in Oakland. Proud of this city. I grew up a stone's throw away. When I was mayor of San Francisco, we looked across the bay at envy at Oakland. We used to call it the Brooklyn of the Bay, and that was a deep compliment. The number of businesses that were coming to downtown Oakland, the revitalization of the neighborhoods, the restaurants, the culture, the artistic expression. And this is a spectacular city. It remains a spectacular city, but it's lost its way a little bit. It's lost a little bit of confidence. But we can revise that. That sense of spirit and pride is all about community, and that's why I'm here, to sort of reinvigorate that sense of optimism and possibility back into Oakland. But it starts foundationally with public safety. It's at a tipping point. We were just talking, Barbara made the point, how many businesses are today deciding what to do tomorrow, next quarter, next year? Are they going to renew their leases? They need to see change now. They need to see demonstrable resolve, and they need to see this partnership advanced. But in return, that partnership requires that local change and local support. So that's why we're here, with gratitude and appreciation for the progress to date. And I'll just close with deeper gratitude and appreciation for the men and women in uniform, to the California Highway Patrol, on behalf of Commissioner Deary, on behalf of our Deputy Commissioner. Thank you guys for all the extraordinary work you guys do every single day. I don't think you've ever been tasked or asked to do more in the last few years than you've been asked to do across a spectrum of issues. And demonstrably, final point, those results are in hand. You saw the 117 arrests on December 20th in partnership with 56 retailers and 10 local jurisdictions, a proactive policing partnership that was made possible because of a year-long effort that you have advanced, where we have saturated and supported local law enforcement agencies all up and down this state, particularly around organized retail theft, property crimes, issues related to vehicles, issues related to guns that we believe were used in crimes. I want to thank you for that. 1,347 arrests in those operations since February, 2,500 vehicles that were stolen have been recovered since that operation started. Partnerships that have been formed here in Oakland, in San Bernardino, in Bakersfield, as was noted, commitments that we've made in Antioch and Vallejo that we want to expand upon with conditions, and partnerships that have been formed because of the largesse of the legislature with $267 million in grants that went to 55 jurisdictions in this state, an unprecedented level of support for vertical prosecution and investigations to address the issues of property crime in this state. It's bearing fruit, and your labor has been determinative and demonstrable. So thank you, all of you, the Highway Patrol, for an outstanding job. With that, we're all here to answer any questions.
Hi, Governor. Monica Madden, ABC 7 News. Thanks for having us. Today, San Francisco District Attorney Brooke Jenkins just announced the first person charged with retail theft charges under Prop 36 because of the 2 prior convictions. Do you know if there have been any arrests within the last month by the task force that are now enabled under Prop 36, and do you still feel the same since you did not endorse that earlier this year?
Well, I don't know the details of a local DA's charging of a specific case, but I do know this, that the legislature advanced 12 specific bills. Prop 36 never included organized retail theft, never addressed that issue, never addressed the issue of vehicle crimes, never addressed the issue of multi-jurisdictional prosecutions. It primarily addressed the issue of nonviolent drug possession. As it relates to the 12 bills that were advanced in the legislature, as you know, they'll go in effect in January. As it relates to Prop 36 in this specific instance, I'll leave it to the district attorney to talk more about why she decided to charge him.
There also, this week in Alameda County, have been at least 5 different smash and grabs. I mean, what do we do to continue preventing those in addition to the retail theft ones that you've been touting?
Rewind the tape. That's why we're here. That's the partnership that we're committing to continue to advance. It's the change the voters spoke loudly up as it relates to the 2 recalls in the region. Our commitments remain as it relates to supporting those complex cases in the Alameda County DA's office. We want to continue those partnerships with the state's Department of Justice. We want to continue to support supplementing the efforts here, but in return we need to see subsequent reforms here in Oakland that specifically address your issue. And as it relates to the smash and grabs, again, outside the purview of Prop 36, important that this is part of the conversation for the public. Those are included specifically as it relates to the package of bills that the legislature advanced and I signed in August of this year, the vast majority of which go into effect on January 1st in the new year.
Mr. Governor, good morning to you on this Friday. It's Eitan Wallace here with Nexstar Media stations across California. First question is from our affiliate down in Bakersfield in Kern County, NBC KGET 17 and Telemundo Bakersfield. They just want to know overall, how are you feeling about the operations down there in Kern County with CHP? I know you mentioned that a little bit. How is it going in Bakersfield?
Well, it's going very well, again, in the spirit of collaboration and partnership. The mayor, Mayor Go, has been a great partner to us. The county has been very supportive, and Kern, the sheriff's office, local law enforcement have embraced and supported these operations. We consistently, I think we refer to as Takedown Tuesdays, update the public as it relates to the details of those efforts. And unsurprisingly in Bakersfield, as was mentioned, we just had a private meeting with folks. Many may be surprised. Bakersfield and Kern County consistently remain the most dangerous parts of our state. Last 5 or so, maybe 5 out of 6 years, within a margin, I believe I'm accurate, the murder capital of California. And so it's incredibly important that these partnerships succeed, and I'm very, very prideful of the local support we've received.
Thank you so much. And this follow-up question, a little bit off topic. Just last time I saw you, one of the last times in Colusa County, I just asked you, based on your podcast, Politic, and I know you had said on that podcast that you had tried to reach out to President-elect Donald Trump, and that was unsuccessful. Any update there? Also, just a quick follow-up on the last time I also saw you. You had told me that you were thinking maybe the upcoming budget presentation in January might be a State of the State.
Yeah.
How is that coming? So sorry, two questions.
I'm still thinking the same way. I think the viewership likely will be down this year if I do another 2-hour budget presentation. I'm not sure it was ever particularly high, the 2-hour budget presentation. So I thought I would perhaps do everybody a favor by collapsing them into one presentation, which I'm looking forward to doing in a week or so. As it relates to the president, we haven't had a chance to discuss, and we haven't had a chance to talk, forgive me, since his election to office.
Hi, Governor. Leah Russell from Sacramento Bee. I have a couple questions. First, going back to Prop 36, how do you respond to local leaders, for example, Sacramento officials who claim that they are already getting results after charging retail theft suspects under the new proposition, given that you proposed it?
I think that's fabulous. By the way, they'll have many more tools with the 12 bills that the state passed that are much broader, nuanced, and more inclusive than the one or two specific components as it relates to retail theft and Prop 36. Again, Prop 36 tended to differentiate itself from the work the legislature already had done. In this regard, it has much more to do with nonviolent drug possession, up to 3 years felony and state mandatory prison sentences if drug treatment on demand is not successfully provided. The challenge is it locks in a requirement, but it locks out money because at the same time it cuts drug treatment money for local government. That's a conundrum for local municipalities, and one that I'm very concerned about and will continue to remain concerned about, and therein lies my concern and opposition to that initiative, not on the retail theft side, quite the contrary. We went back to 2021 when we established this new task force and framework. Hundreds of millions of dollars have invested in this space and a much more comprehensive approach to addressing these issues in those package of bills. So I applaud any effort to address the issue of retail theft. I've been applauding that for years and years, and I'm very grateful to the work of the California Highway Patrol in particular of advancing those efforts.
And switching topics, the HUD's point-in-time count came out today showing the highest recorded population of homelessness nationwide. It looks like about 2/3 of our population here in California is unhoused. How do you respond to that, given your support for grants passed?
I haven't had a chance to review the details, but I do understand this important detail that you saw nationwide increase. It was one of the most substantial we've seen in decades. I think 18.13%, 3.13% here in the state of California. We've seen a significant decline in the growth in the state of California. And on the unsheltered side, I think it was statistically flat at 0.45%. So progress, as well as on the sheltered side, up 8.9%. That is a very good statistic as it relates to the work we're doing to get people sheltered and to get people the support that they deserve. 40 states saw larger increases than California. We're making progress, but we have to continue to do more. And that progress, again, in the spirit that brings me back to Oakland, is realized locally. States provided unprecedented support, flexibility. Local government has to deliver. Here in Oakland, across the state, hundreds of cities, time to step up, address the issue of encampments, address the issue of tents, address what's happening on the streets and sidewalks. It's about quality of life. It's about public safety. The people of the state have spoken loudly. They want to see results, no more rhetoric, no more press conferences. They want to see results. They want to see them tangibly, and they want to see our efforts done in a way that's consistent with the values that we hold dear in our state.
Thank you.
Hi, Governor. Valina Jones with NBC Bay Area. Obviously, a lot of pressure being put on the police commission here in Oakland. Do you have a sense of the timeline of when they could take action to change that policy?
Last September. I mean, sense of urgency now. I'm working here on a holiday weekend to be. They can call a special session. I don't know what the vernacular is for the police commission, but a special meeting. They can do so with urgency, with focus, conviction to address the issue at hand, the crisis at hand. I would expect and demand that they do of sorts, and the demand comes with this, not a closed fist, but an open hand of support, but that cannot continue in an open way it has in the past without expecting something in return. So I hope the police commission can move, and I may move, if I may, from this mic and ask two city council members that are here what their thoughts may be. This is called putting them on the spot.
So Councilmember Jenkins here in September, Councilmember Reed and I sent something to the Police Commission asking them to review the policy. They did not do any substantial changes. So what's happened as of late, Councilmember-elect Houston and I, we've spoken with the city administrator. The city administrator is going to help the OPD chief come up with a policy, and that will go to the police commission. As the governor said, we need this with urgency. We don't want our police chasing folks for jaywalking, but we do want a balanced approach. And with a new council coming on, 4 new council members, overwhelmingly, there is support for changing this policy in an urgent manner.
Councilmember Ken Houston-elect, the governor has shown support. He had an open hand and a closed fist at the same time. We need change. Change is coming. Change is coming. We have the leadership of Gavin Jenkins, and we are going to support. We're going to ask the police commission, enough is enough. The governor said, Oaklanders has spoken. We have spoken. We want public safety. We want change. At the same time, we want embracement. I'm here, I'm not a politician, but I'm definitely going to take the leadership of Gavin Jenkins and the leadership of our great governor. He is a community partner. He is partners. He showed his dedication, and urgency is urgency. Oakland deserves better.
And then, Governor, I'll just follow up on that. If there is not urgency taken, what is your concern about the impacts that Oakland will see after we've had this huge reduction in crime?
Well, look, I don't want to be threatening here. I care too much about this community, but things have to change, and so we're going to. What you just heard gives me confidence. What the voters did, I hope, gives everybody a little bit of backbone as well, to recognize the public's behind them if they pursue change. And this is one of many things we can be doing, and no one's naive here. And I appreciate, I'm a former mayor, I deeply understand bottom up, not top down, one size doesn't fit all, notion of cultural competency, investing in community building, investing in alternatives and opportunities and prevention, all of those things continue and need to continue, and we want to do what we can as a state to support them. At the same time, we've got to stop the bleeding. And that's what this is about. It's about a pout and interrupt. And we've been doing it. We've seen success. We want to continue to see that success, and we'll see more success with this policy change. I think it will be very, very impactful. Otherwise, we wouldn't be pursuing it. We wouldn't be demanding it. We wouldn't be calling for it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Sarah Ravani from the San Francisco Chronicle. I have 2 questions. One, a technical question, just how many CHP officers are operating in Oakland as part of the surge?
Well, we always do estimates because we don't want to preview in detail, but our surges tend to run about 20 to 30. officers, plus or minus, depending on the unannounced surges. We've got a baseline of additional 14 on top of, again, existing support that's already provided with the CHP in Oakland. That's on top of that. We've got K-9 units, we've got investigative units on commercial, on retail, all of those, again, additional supplementary supports.
My next question might be for Councilmember Jenkins in Houston, but if the Police Commission declines to take the chief's proposed policy into consideration, is there anything the council can do to compel them or to demand it, I guess?
Yeah. So the Police Commission has 120 days once OPD has a new policy. If they don't take it up, it becomes the policy, whatever the chief had put in. If they disagree with the policy, then it's kicked up to council, and council will get to decide.
Thank you.
And again, they're not reinventing the wheel here. Again, Oakland's an extreme outlier. Hundreds and hundreds of cities operate with very different pursuit policy, all of them different nuance, different policy frameworks. There's a statewide organization called POST, which is our police officer standards and training group that lays out best practices. So those menu options exist. And alternatives persist in other jurisdictions, including almost every single jurisdiction in this region. So this is not something that's particularly complicated. It's just a question of commitment and urgency. Forgive me.
Thank you, Governor. Da from KPIX, the CBS affiliate here in San Francisco. Just want to follow up and clarify, too, if the conditions are met in the change in policies, I mean, the pursuit policy, how much longer would you guys commit yourself to here? I mean, is there a carrot that you're dangling in front of City Council to get them to change their policy?
So, full transparency, I have folks here said, give them 30 days and that's it, period, we're done. People are frustrated. We put out a letter in July of last year and they turned their back. They didn't change the policy. They had a chance in September to move the policy. They didn't do it. My folks said, we're done. I said, hold on. I care too much, again, about Oakland. This is not just me preening here. I mean it. I'm serious. And so I didn't do it. I didn't take their advice. But I'm going to lose support from some of my folks because they're getting requests all across the state, and we have active partners all across the state that have stepped up. I can't turn my back on them either. So this is not open-ended. We need to see the change. And again, this is not the job. The California Highway Patrol is not the job to supplement. You know, folks in Vallejo, don't think. I just want the folks in Vallejo to know, you know, you're not getting the CHP to do the work of local law enforcement. I think there's some speculation. They think somehow, well, the state's going to come in and provide this support for free. You know, they have a lot of empty, vacant positions, which I guess they get budget savings. And instead of contracting, for example, with the sheriff's office in the county, they're hoping to get the state to do it for free. We're not going to be in that business. We are in the business of support, and you see what we're doing in Vallejo. We're supporting the Alameda County Sheriff, or rather the Solano Sheriff. And we appreciate Solano Sheriff's partnership with the CHP. We appreciate the acting police commissioner who's in good faith working with the California Highway Patrol. But again, we have our limits. Forgive the long-windedness of the response.
And lastly, you know Barbara Lee well. There are a lot of labor folks who are urging her to run, but there are some folks who are concerned about a Ron Dellums 2.0. Your thoughts, since you know her really well?
I love Ron Dellums, so, but that's just personal. I miss him. What a legend.
The question is...
I got soft feelings for Ron, but yeah. I have no opinion about what you should do here in Oakland as it relates to the mayor's race. As a former candidate and a former mayor myself, I'm sensitive to those local decisions, and I'll leave it to the folks here. That was the case with the recall as well, and we did our best to work in partnership with the former district attorney in Alameda County that showed its limits,